Here's Season 4, Episode 6, A Strange Time Warp. It was early in the morning when trouble started and Mia knew it was going to be one of those mornings. "Huston!" she heard Mrs. Hart yell and then came in. "He got into my breakfast and tore my new magazine," Mrs. Hart said, annoyed. "Sorry about that," Mia said, then got up for the morning, but then tripped over an invisible Hudder. "Oops, sorry Mia, I turned invisible in my sleep again. It happens," Hudder said. A few minutes later, Mia went to get some breakfast, but saw Mrs. Hart's breakfast wasn't the only breakfast he helped himself to. "Guess a cereal for breakfast then," Mia said, annoyed. "Some would say it's one of those mornings, but nope, for Mia it was one of those days." During the evening, after Eva and her mum went out, Mia grabbed the only ball from Eva's hiding place. "This thing's been nothing but trouble. I'm going to have to be careful, because when I tried to destroy this thing yesterday, it sent me to a jungle with no memory," Mia said. Yes, she knew it could be destroyed, but there must be some way to switch it off or something. Mia thought of giving it a medium blast at first to be careful, but that didn't work, so decided to risk a full blast. It got to go, but then it started ticking and Mia thought she was ready for whatever would happen next. "Huston!" she heard Mrs. Hart yell. "They're back already? What has Huston done this time?" Mia wondered, but to her surprise was back in bed and Mrs. Hart came in. "He got into my breakfast and tore my new magazine," Mrs. Hart said, annoyed. "Again?" Mia asked, but Mrs. Hart was confused. "What do you mean again? It only happened this morning," Mrs. Hart replied. "What is going on? It's like deja vu here," Mia wondered and tripped over Hudder. "Oops, sorry Mia, I turned invisible in my sleep again. It happens," Hudder said. "Is this a prank or something? What's going on?" Mia wondered, then went downstairs, wondering if she'll have some real breakfast this time. She did it. It was like she was repeating yesterday all over again, and that's exactly what happened. It must be due to that only ball, Mia wonders if that was the last thing she did before the whole day started again, and went to check on it, and yep, it was ticking just like last night. Me zapping it must have caused a time warp, Mia thought, but then... "Huston!" Mrs. Hart yelled. "Oh, not again," Mia thought, and she came in. "He," Mrs. Hart was saying, but Mia answered her, "got into your breakfast and torn your new magazine." "Yeah. How did you know that?" Mrs. Hart asked. Lucky guess," Mia fibbed. Even with all the strange things Eva Mum experienced, would she believe that the changing was repeating the same day over and over again? After she got up, she remembered Hudder and read around him, but then Hudder stretched and tripped Mia over. Great, here we go again, Mia thought to herself, then had an idea. Maybe she could make this day end by making the day white. So that same next morning she got up extra early, jumped over Hudder and made sure Huston left Mrs. Hart breakfast and magazine alone. Then she at last helped herself to a good bowl of chum. After thoughting through the rest of the day, Mia thought to herself, well, this has been a fine day. Hopefully now tomorrow will be tomorrow, and went to bed. "Huston!" Mrs. Hart yelled. "Oh, no, not again," Mia said, annoyed. "When will this day end?" Then realised she was going to need some help and called the group over. "So you're stuck in a time warp because you tried to destroy the Only Ball?" Dash asked. "Yep," Mia said. "This sounds like one of my comics," Daniel said. "This is like that film Groundhog Day," Paul said. But Eva wasn't as interested. "Mia, why have you been trying to destroy it? You know it can't be destroyed. Anyway, figure what we can learn from it," Eva said. "Well, here's what I learned. There's been nothing but trouble. Your mum took Eva's mum and Huston for it," Mia said, looking at Ian. "It wiped our memories but yours," Mia said, looking at Dash. "It showed us our worst fears and tried to get me, Hudder and Huston to hurt you," Mia said, looking at Eva. "That thing's dangerous. It got to go," Mia said. Well, before we make that decision, let's see if there's a way to stop it, Eva said, looking the ball over. Mia, you said this all started when you blasted it, right? Eva asked. Yeah, Mia replied. Well, maybe if you blasted it again it might stop it, Eva thought. Mia didn't know if it would work but decided to try it and then it stopped ticking. I think we did it, Eva said. Finally, Mia said, relieved that this day would hopefully end. Huston! Oh no, not again, not again. Mia said, annoyed, but then realised that wasn't Mrs. Hart and looked over at Eva. Sorry, couldn't help myself, Eva said guilty. Very funny, Mia said, half annoyed but glad it was finally another day and went back to sleep. The end. Hope you all enjoyed.